What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another late night in the BrewLab with me, Lone Fox, your Brewmaster-in-Chief. And tonight, in the BrewLab, I'm coming at you with the third installment of this little Explorer mini-series. And couldn't have been a better night to do this on because my daily quest is black and green spells. So we're going to be looking at Abzan Greasefang, one of the most broken decks in Explorer for sure, definitely very well established. The card choices are almost fixed. There's a little bit of wiggle room here and there. Some people playing, some copies of one thing or another, but they all essentially do the same thing. They're trying their best to ensure that the combo goes off as consistently as possible. For those of you who do not know, I will explain the combo right away as we dive into the brew. But I just want to preface this video by saying that, I've played now, I don't know, a good 30 matches with the deck. I even played some games in the Pizza Box event yesterday, but unfortunately, due to my time zones, the event starts at 1 a.m., so I almost never make it past the first couple of games before I just concede because I'm too tired. But I've played, this is to say that I've played a lot of Abzan Greasefang of late, and the number of mirror matches, first of all, is absurd. Like, I don't know what the if it's the algorithm or if it's just, bad luck or whatever, but, or, just the fact that it's such a strong deck that everybody plays it, especially in best of one. But I've just played so many Abzan Greasefang mirrors where it just feels like you flicking a coin. Like, did I start the game first? Do I have the combo pieces in my hand? Like, okay, I win this time, or he wins this time, and it's just this like, oh, Abzan hits, Greasefang hits the board, the opponent scoops, or vice versa. It feels really, really stupid, and it's making me less and less enjoy this format, to be honest. But anyway, I do want to push on through, persevere. I have a lot of people giving me positive feedback about this foray into Explorer, and I do want to continue to do this every time that Standard gets a bit stale towards the arrival of a new set. I'm going to be doing these little check-ins on the Explorer format. For now, it just feels like an Abzan Greasefang fest. But that's enough rambling, so without further ado, let's jump into tonight's brew. Abzan Greasefang, and it received an important new piece with the arrival of Shadows over Innistrad, namely the Eldritch Evolution, which brings the deck as close as possible with what we have on Arena to the version from Pioneer. It's just, again, another piece that just helps the combo be as consistent as possible. But we'll get to there. Let's take it from the top, as I always do. We've got a couple copies of Duress and then a full playset of Thoughtseize. Like, this seems to be kind of stock standard in almost every version that I've found online and in tournament results and whatnot. It's just a way of ensuring that early on in the game you remove the cards from the opponent's hand, like that are going to interrupt your combo from going off, like the Hearse, for example, unlicensed Hearse, or anything else that exiles or graveyard hate of any sort, or counter spells, or things that can cheaply remove your Greasefang when it enters the battlefield and whatnot. So, I mean, Thoughtseize seems to be an absolute format staple. Any deck that plays black in Explorer will probably be running, if not a full playset, at least some copies of this card. And so then alongside Duress, you've just got so much hand hate in the early game that it's just going to help ensure that, like I keep repeating, your Greasefang combo goes off. So before we continue, I did promise I would explain it to you. For those of you who are, first timers into watching Explorer content, first of all, welcome. What happens is you try your best to put Parhelion II into the graveyard. And then we use Greasefang, which is currently still in standard, to return it to the battlefield. Then it gains haste. You get to crew straight away because it's got crew 4. Greasefang has for toughness, for power, so you can crew the Parhelion with the Greasefang and swing. And when you do swing with Parhelion II, you get a total of 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 damage. You know, 5/5 plus another 2 4/4 angels with vigilance. Then the Parhelion gets bounced back to your hand because of the way the Greasefang is worded, but you're left with 2 4/4 angels with flying that if you didn't win the game or the opponent didn't scoop, when you get the combo off, then you'll probably just get to win the very following turn by just attacking with those 2 angels once again. So, okay, back to the deck. That's our 1-drops. Going on to the 2-drops, this is like all the things that are going to help us put stuff into the graveyard. Pretty much it all happens here on the 2-drop slot, except for a couple of exceptions. So, interesting new addition in a version that I found online, because there's definitely some wiggle room here on the 2-drop slot. There's people playing this Satyr Wayfinder. Enter the battlefield, reveal top 4 cards of your library, put a land card from out. So, like, okay, putting stuff in the graveyard and then helping you find lands. There's also people playing, what's it? There's like a 1-drop Stitcher, something. Yeah, the Stitcher Supplier, milling cards when it ETBs or dies. But that's a 1-drop. But kind of trying to show you that there's some wiggle room here upon like the cards choices people make to get Parhelion into the graveyard. I think doing so with the Professor of Symbology is amazing because you can either discard a card to draw a card, so putting the Parhelion into the yard, or get access to a lovely little lesson board. It's been a while since I've had a chance to play with a lesson board. Strixhaven rotated out a little while ago, so quite nice. Just picked some of my favorite lessons from the lesson board. Academic Probation, prevents the opponent from casting a spell of a chosen name until your next turn, or stops a specific card from attacking or blocking. Reduce to memory, exiling, more exile, way of finding our Greasefang. Look at the top 6 cards of your library, reveal a creature card, put into your library, rest of the bottom, random order, gain 3 life, quite nice. Containment Breach for some artifact and enchantment hate, and then just some bodies here. You need a little bit of chump blocker action, a little flyer, who knows. It's just kind of random stuff, but most of the time you're playing it and you're discarding your Parhelion. We've also got Raffine's Informant, which does the same exact thing, but with Connive. Enters the battlefield, connives, discard a card, draw a card, discard your Parhelion. And we've got Corpse Churn, which is doing similar thing. I like this because it's instant speed over the Satyr Wayfinder. Mill 3 cards, return a creature card from your graveyard to your hand. So you potentially cast it during the opponent's end step, mill Parhelion into the graveyard, and then and the Greasefang, or maybe you've already, whatever. The point is, you bring back your Greasefang, and then on your turn cast it and go off with the combo. If you are unable to, if the opponent kills your Greasefang, we've also got 2 copies of Can't Stay Away to return target creature card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. So again, everything's just trying to make the Greasefang stick and get that Parhelion in the yard and without it dying. And that's every single card in the deck's just made to do that, except for Sheoldred, which is just spicy 1 of good 4-drop, which honestly could be removed and maybe just play a 3rd copy of the Sky Sovereign console if you wanted to. But I just don't want to blow all my wild cards this close to the arrival of March of the Machine. But then we've got 2 copies of Liliana. Can be removal, can be a win con, but mainly, again, +1, discard your Parhelion. And then, talking about the new card from the new set, I actually got a full play set, but I've been kind of tinkering with numbers a little bit. Eldritch Evolution, as an additional cost to cast a spell, sacrifice a creature. Oftentimes, it's going to be our Professor or our Raffine's Informant. And then you can search your library for a creature card with mana value X or less, where X is 2 plus the sacrifice creature's mana value. Put that card onto the battlefield and shuffle. So, these being 2-drops, you can always find your Greasefang, play your Greasefang, off to the races. But you can also use it to grab a Sheoldred in a pinch, which is quite nice. And then the rest, are artifacts, vehicles that we're going to be trying to reanimate with the Greasefang. So, in a pinch, if you can't get the main combo to go off, Sky Sovereign console isn't terrible either. 6/5 flyer that deals 3 damage to creature or planeswalker when it ETBs and when it attacks. So, you know, if you can do the thing with Greasefang, it'll enter the battlefield, 3 damage to creature or planeswalker, and then you attack with it right away. Another 3 damage. You know, sometimes I can just take out a couple of creatures or a creature and a planeswalker on the same turn. Esika's Chariot, we all know what this does. You can make the 2 little cat tokens and then continue to copy those tokens whenever it attacks. Pretty nice. And then, like I said, just a sneaky one of Sheoldred to just have a good card. Sometimes you can plop it down in front of like mono red or heroic or something, Boros heroic, and stall them a little bit while you try to get the combo off. As far as the mana base goes, I didn't have all. This is not by any means the official, totally like streamlined, perfect as Abzan Greasefang mana base. I was missing a few bits and pieces, so I had to just make do with what I had. But I feel like I've done my best with the wild cards and the lands that I already had when I used to play. You know, back in the day. You know, I was playing Arena when Overgrown Tomb was in Standard, so I did have some of those, Godless Shrine, things like that. But I did what I can with what I have, like I said. And one of the additions or differences from my version and the net deck version is a couple copies of Takesha's Dig Site, which I thought was quite clever because of the Surveil. So Surveil, look at the top card of your library, you may put it into your graveyard. So again, just another way of putting Parhelion or one of your other artifact vehicles into the yard, potentially at the opponent's end step. I thought, why not? Like, if I can't afford the other 2, there's this other land that like taps for a mana of any color. I can't remember the name of that was, you know, that most people are playing in this place. But as I don't have it, I went with Takesha's, and I think it's a pretty cool replacement if you don't have it. And that's the deck. Abzan Greasefang for Explorer, slightly BrewLabified, and I think it's about time that we jump into some games. I think the game plan here, or the strategy, is quite clear. I'm going to do my best to avoid getting salty when playing this format. I just honestly sometimes can't help it. It just feels a little bit too ridiculous. Roberto, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. The more I play it, the less I want to play it. Like, it just like feels like the type of thing where you're just scooping like so often. So often. Oh wow. Not a mirror. Would you look at that? Let's go Thoughtseize. Okay. So the other stupid deck in the format. Angels. Sure. Let's discard this evolution. There we go. We just found what we needed without finding what we needed. But now we just need to get a, you know, a Parhelion in the graveyard. It's not Parhelion, but it's pretty good. He'll probably hit us with the borrowed Banishing Light. The original borrowed time. got Raffine's Informant to re-mill Esika's Chariot in a pinch, but if he didn't find his third land, we just win. At 3 hand hate in the early game, just completely destroyed him. Dig this music. Come on, don't be salty, man. We all know it's Explorer. We all know how busted it is. I got to do my thing before you got to do your thing. Just scoop it up and let's move on to the next one, shall we? Shaky fisty man. Wow. What a sore loser. Oh. Off the top. Boom, 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 boom. Game over. Maybe some people actually think you'll concede because of boredom, but I ain't one of those. We're going to be looking at angels tomorrow. Oh, sorry, the next video, so probably the day after tomorrow. There's a few versions floating around. Some people just only rely on Collected Company. Some people have got Kyla's Reconstruction and Collected Company in the deck. There we go. We did the thing, guys. Booyakasha. On to the next one. Haas McCooter. Sweet as, mate. Seems fairly good to me. Angels again. Ah, this is one of the new cards, isn't it? An Eldrazi Angel. What happened there? I lost audio for a second. Now we just need to find one of the 1 million ways we have of milling Parhelion from our hand, and we should be okay. Again, the hand hate probably going to win us the match. I say probably because Angels has the most ridiculous ability to come back from nowhere. Salty McSaltsteins. Off you go. Because he was relying on that Emeria's Call, play it as a land, to cast his 3-drops and didn't make his mana. Sorry! Ooh. Ah. I'll have to read that after the recording. Okay, 2-4, 2-4-0. Both matches against Angels. Captain Peacock. Only because I got Duress. Okay, you just kept like a 4-land hand. Pretty cool, man. And like essentially 5-land hand. We can mill this for sure. Captain Peacock.
Drop it.
Can defend Liliana. Actually, we don't really need to. This guy can't attack yet. Okay. That's pretty bad. Didn't think about that. I completely forgot about that.
To this broken world. You can deal with my servant. I'm busy.
He's probably gonna get rid of the flyer.
Haven't you ever heard of personal space?
No, that's cool. Was not able to mill anything relevant. Bankbuster.
Blood for knowledge. A fair trade.
I'm done here. Oh, that's my view. Sacrifices must be made.
Don't know if that was the right call there with the probation, but I think between Bankbuster and Sorin, I'd rather he not activate Sorin. I just wish I knew what was going on here. Is this standard? What's happening here? Okay, Tacasias. Pretty cool. Wow, that's the first time I've had Invoke Despair cast on me in Explorer.
You will serve me well.
like quite deep into our library. We've only found one of our many. Oh. Shelly versus Shelly. Let's see. Ah, okay. I mean, he's got the anti Abzan Greasefang deck with all of the graveyard hate stuff from the color. Armored Scrap Gorger, Scavenging Ooze. Fairly certain we just lose here. I mean, if he attacks with the Shelly, we have to block. So both Shellys die.
You wish to know my
Right?
secrets?
I mean,
very well.
And then we take 4 and then GG. Very unlucky. Just were not able to do our thing in time. Swing. 3, 4, 5. Yeah. We lose. He just needs to take one more creature. Swing with everything. Ready? Yeah, there we go. Good game. Well played. Alright, on to the next one. Captain Peacock. I tried my best. I missed that first trigger on the Scrap Gorger. That was a huge misplay. I'd forgotten that it exiles stuff from graveyards. My bad. I don't think being able to keep that copy of Esika's Chariot was going to make all the difference anyway. But still, a misplay nonetheless. Colm. Better. No idea what's going on here. What just happened there? Okay. And then how did this? Busted! Heyo. Look, he decided to turn up. Wow, that was crazy town though. Self-mill? No? Heyo! It's combo time, baby! Cool, man. We did the thing. Now let's see if we can survive. This is also from the new from Innistrad remastered thing, Majiggy. It's crazy to play a format you've never played. Like, I just don't know what any of these cards do. Oh, my spirit creature token, flying, discard 2, return, Boom, 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 boom. Okay. We can use this to get a Raffine's Informant, to mill the Parhelion, to bring it back, you can see why the Eldritch card thing is a staple in the Pioneer version of this deck, because, again, just making sure it's always as consistent as possible. The combo goes off so consistently, in fact, that it is one of the most played decks in the format. But again, do I enjoy doing it? By like the third or fourth time, you're kind of just like, okay, woohoo, I got Parhelion, whee! It's... I have more fun casting Invoke Despair, and that's saying something. Yeah, okay, I'll keep it. Why not? Oh, triple hand hate, baby. Revolt. Okay. That's how toxic it is. People scoop to the Raffine's Informant. I mean, it's just whatever. Anyway, I promise you I will not sprinkle any more salt on Explorer. It is a cool format. I am enjoying it. I just think, you know, as much as people like to complain about Standard being like, oh, it's always just the same 3 decks, blah, blah, blah. Like, my experience of it so far is like, yeah. Also, not as diverse as I initially thought. Yes, the card pool is 1,000,000 times bigger, but like everybody's playing, you know, 5 or 6 decks that are like the top tier. And I guess it's just the nature of Magic, right? Like, okay, we need a white source to discard Parhelion and to play Greasefang, but it seems pretty decent. I'll keep it anyway. You know, when you got both Parhelion and double green because of the... Okay, so we just saw Fatal Push. This is just the alternate art or whatever with Yargle or whatever there. We can't play Adeline yet. Can't play Wedding Announcement either. Which is worse for us? Probably Adeline. Ah, there we go. He would have been able to play it. Ah, not keeping that white source was a mistake. I mean, keeping the hand without a white source was a mistake. Here comes Shelly. Okay, maybe not. Okay, that was another 3 non-lands. Oh dear. Oh. There's nothing you can do when you brick. Really, there's just nothing you can do. Plays the Shelly, draws a card, gains life. We lose 2. Thanks, deck. What was that? Let me just... Okay, 45 cards deep. We went through... How many cards on the top of our library? Didn't find more than 2 lands. Shuffler's fine, everybody. Shuffler's fine. Shuffler is fine. I guess that's why some people run the Satyr over Corpse Churn. I like the Scry and the double hand hates, so let's see if this was a bad idea. Oh. Hang on a tick. We can do the thing next turn. At least a thing. May not be the best one, but it's something. Play another black source, double whammy. How are we doing for time? Alright, we're getting close to the end here. I think I've done a fairly good job of illustrating the strategy and you know, what it is that the deck is trying to do. We've gotten the combo off a good few times. Win rate is nice and high. Less mirror matches than I was expecting. In testing, I had 4 mirrors in a row just before I hit record. It was 4 Greasefang mirrors back to back. I guess then sort of just got them out of the way, and I won't have that for a little while, but I felt like bashing my head into the wall. Okay. Oh. On the red aggro. Oh. Don't need paying any life at all if I can avoid it. Will we be fast enough? That is the question. One of my good friends and loyal subscriber. Here we go. Ooh, mono red doing mono red things. So the question here is, do I block? Should have blocked. If we just drawn one more land, of course. Okay, we just need to block aggressively. Any target, gonna go for face, probably, I would say. Oh, yeah. Oh, combo time. It's not gonna be enough though. Or will it? I doubt it. Unfortunately, he's probably just got a burn spell. Okay, let's do that. Let's see if he has the burn spell. Has there ever been a time against Mono Red when they don't? 1 in a million? Okay, guys, I think we have time for one more. Let's see if we can rush out one last victory before we call it a night. Close. I'm honestly like seeing win rates of Explorer and being so new to the format. I'm surprised Mono Red isn't higher up in the win rates. It's like if you had to just have the choice of every single card that's ever been on Arena and you just pick all the best red cards ever. Like, I'm surprised you can't just come up with like the most bursted deck ever, but eh. Difficult. Okay. Looks like devotion. Are you really gonna? Yeah, mono green devotion. This is another one of those.
Serpents. Oh, I love them all.
Hand, Parhelion, discard, draws the land for the combo. I don't think the opponent can go off that hard yet this turn because they don't have the, you know, the land that does the thing. What's it called? Yeah, there it is. 1, 2. Makes 3 mana, untaps it with the Cura. Makes 6 mana. Okay. There we go. He's got the guy with Reach in hand, the Cavalier of Thorns.
1 drop ripples and grows.
4 mana total. It's not enough. Maybe just plays Karn. No, whoopsie. Let's see if they scoop. Yay, we got to do the thing on this 3rd turn. It's so silly. It's so dumb. It's so damn freaking silly. But, alright. I mean, perfect. Ending on a win. Doing the combo on turn 3 as the deck is intended to do. Very good win rate. Lost to Mono Red. Can't remember what the other one was, but overall, I think we can absolutely leave it at that. Jumping back into the deck with my final thoughts and overall review. definitely taking a veer from the first two brews I brought you for this format, which were much more budget friendly and aggro based. This is 100% not budget friendly. There's a bunch of rares and mythic in here. It's quite the investment. If you want to get into Explorer and you don't yet have much of a collection, you need to spend a lot of wildcards to get all the important pieces. Pretty much the whole deck is just rares and mythics, so you really have to decide that this is the type of thing that you like to do. As you could see though from the gameplay footage, it is completely busted. I don't even have like the ultimate version. The mana base is still very, very terrible because I didn't have all of the wild cards for the lands. If you went and splurged and got yourself the perfect version, now also including the Eldritch Evolution from Shadow over Innistrad, you will have yourself a brew that is currently registering, very good win rates in best of 1 and best of 3. So I really liked the addition of the Professor with the little lesson board. What else? Nothing much that I need to add. Honestly, I think my inclusion of Takeisa's dig site is pretty cool with a Surveil. But I'm just going to leave it at that. Thank you all so much for watching. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I will see you all in the next one. And until then, this is Lone Fox from the BrewLab, signing out. Peace, y'all.